Good day, viewers of Public Access. I want to welcome you to this show. It's called the American Legion Update. I've got 4 guests here. We're separated distance, so that way we can not wear a mask, but also at the same time you can understand what we're trying to say. With the mask on, it's very hard. So I want to take and introduce to my left is Marty Lemnow and Alan Brown. To my other right is Melody Tebow and John Tebow. They're all members of the American Legion, and what I'd like to do is start off. When did the American Legion start in the St. Albans area, and who wants to start off with that?
I'll do that.
Okay.
It started in, it was probably about May or June of 1919. The national organization had formed in Paris, France in March of 1919, and then the states picked up and started forming posts in that, and we were originally 2 posts in St. Albans, and months down the road they realized that they needed to come together and form one, and when they did, it became Post 1. So there were originally 2 in the beginning, but within months it joined forces and came up with just 1 post. So, but we've got 90 posts throughout the state of Vermont, and ours is, we just celebrated 100 years last year, so that's one thing we were very proud of. But what people don't realize is that when World War II was calming down and the troops were getting ready to come home, there were gentlemen there, officers who, and enlisted, who were fearful of what would happen when they returned. And they were afraid that a lot of our veterans were going to fall off the earth, you know, and be forgotten. So they've decided to form the American Legion and admit veterans, and it helped with the rehab of our veterans, schooling. We're involved with the children and youth and in the communities, and with the national security of the United States. And that's how they all got started back in 1919.
1919. Alan, do you want to put anything in it?
The Legion has been very instrumental in helping the veterans and reminding the government of the promises that were made to them, and assisting them with particularly medical problems that they've had connected with their service. Legion also, as Marty said, is active in the community. We've sponsored baseball teams. We have an oratory contest for young people, where we support the local schools. And
Don't you give out scholarships? I remember seeing some school that there were 1 or 2 scholarships for kids.
Yeah.
yes,
Yes, we've got, I think we've got 2 scholarships, but the Department of Vermont has 10 of them that they give out. And the thing about these scholarships is that the young people really don't know about them, so sometimes they don't get issued. No one, you know, if we don't get any applicants. But last year we had something like 400 applicants and for the Department 1, and we had, I think, 5 for our Post 1. But all our posts have scholarships for our young people.
Now, when was the American Legion, the building that's on Franklin Park West, when was that put there?
200, I mean 2,000. 200. Yeah, no, 2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before that, they used to have it on Kingman Street.
Kingman Street, and we needed to expand, we needed to be more handicap accessible, and so we did the 1-story building out here, and the bank bought our old one, and by the grace of God, it never fell in while we were in it. But when they went to take it down to make their parking lot, it just like crumbled.
That was quite an old building. I don't
It
know how old
was.
that was, probably a couple 100 years
It
old.
was, but, well, the old Messenger used to be there.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Yeah,
No?
yeah, used to be the old Messenger.
Huh. Now we'll go over and talk to Melody. I understand, Melody, they call you commander, or,
Yep, they do.
and could you give us, how long you've been commander and your full name, so that way the viewers know who you're talking to?
I'm Melody Tebow, and I've been the commander for Post 1 for 2 years. And actually, Marty Lemnaugh was the first female commander in the first 100 years, and I started out as being the second female commander for the second 100 years. So we'll see how many other females we can get into the organization and get active.
Oh, let's face it, men and women do go to war, and they serve our country, and my feeling is that our government doesn't take care of the soldiers that go fight for our freedom, and I think we should do more, not less.
Absolutely, and we're trying to do a lot. It used to be kind of known as a drinking club. All the old guys would go down and have their brew and sit and talk about old wars and times. Well, times have changed. We now sponsor kids going to camps. We sponsor helping out with the Boy Scouts. We help a lot of the veterans, getting them to the hospitals. We have a service officer who is actually Marty Lemnaugh at this time, and she helps out with anybody who has special cases that needs advancement in that area. We're doing a lot of activities, and we have activities at the club. Of course, right now with COVID, we've kind of backed off quite a bit, but like every organization has, our club is still open. We have draws there to invite people to come in. Males or females are all welcome. If you're a veteran, we don't care what war you served in. We don't care if you're male or female. Everyone's welcome. It's very handicap accessible. Service dogs, anybody with service dogs are welcome.
That's good.
We're
That's
keeping
good.
it open to everyone.
I don't want John to fall asleep, so John, who can become American Legion member in St. Albans?
Anybody who has had time in the service. We've got it's been opened up, I think it was last year. They changed the dates a little bit so that it would be more accessible for more people. Because there were some people that they weren't allowed to come in because they didn't have the right dates. Well, that's kind of changed now, and
That's good.
it's a lot easier to get in. You still have to have a DD 214, of course, which shows that you've been in, but the technicalities to get in are a lot simpler now, which
Well,
makes it
should be,
nice.
easier, as
A
long
lot
as you.
easier, yes.
Yeah,
And now we really need as many veterans or new people we can get in. We're trying to get the younger people to come in. We're one of the larger clubs, and
yeah.
it's hard to get a lot of them to come back or make up for the ones we've lost. That's the big
Yeah.
problem,
Yeah, a lot of veterans have passed away.
a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Now, does the American Legion have a website?
Yes, we
Yes.
do.
Could you tell the viewers what it is?
Just a minute, I gotta cheat.
Got her.
It's greenmountainpost1.org, O-R-G.
And the telephone number, if they want to call up there and ask questions?
It's 524-5561.
That's good, because, a lot of people don't, the new telephone books, they're a mess in my
What
opinion.
telephone book?
That's right, because everybody changes their phones like they change their socks once a day. So Melody, what do you see for the future of the American Legion? Do you got any future things you want to see happen?
Well, we've had a few things that we wanted to see happen. Again, COVID kind of kicked in and kicked us out, but we're trying to bring in the people who have served in the recent wars, and the problem with that is they're not ready. It's still very fresh. A lot of them are just starting new families, work, and again, COVID kicked in for them and their work at home, it's kind of scattered with the school, kids being schooled at home. It makes it hard for them to find time for themselves, much less to get out and do anything. And of course, we've lost kind of the dinner dances and, the different luncheons that we've had before, the breakfasts that we've had. But on a normal routine, we want to get back to doing the dinner dances. We want to get back to doing the monthly breakfasts. We have a lot of things we'd like to do. This year, we weren't able to do the memorial, memorial flag services. Well, we haven't done any of the park services, Veterans Day or Memorial Day. We had to do it virtual, and we'd like to get back to doing that.
Good evening and welcome to the
It's,
Sound Off program.
everything
My name
is
Linda
on
Kirker. I
hold.
host the program,
And it's too bad
certainly
that we can't
appreciate your
project
tuning in
what we would
tonight.
like to do
I think we
to
have a number of
involve more
topics that
people.
are going to be of great
Even a lot of the
interest to you
camps, the
tonight.
cadet camp,
To the
for
best
the
of my
kids that
knowledge,
we
when the
sent,
United States
we can't do that at this
ratifies
point.
a treaty,
They're closed down.
if that treaty
So
is in
until
contrast to
Governor
our
lets
U.S.
us open up a little
Constitution,
more,
it
but our club is
preempts the
open.
Constitution.
We do the
The
masks,
treaty
we do the
overtakes
spacing. A lot of that is still open. We're not renting the hall at this point until start of the new year, but that's going
They
to come
don't
back
want
into
to
effect
15
in
months
the
of
new
their
year,
life.
that we'll start
But
opening
it's
up our halls
the
for
rest of your
activities.
life you have to think about.
But we have an auxiliary group. We have the SAL, which is the Sons of the American
Welcome back.
Legions for
Welcome,
children or
Nice to have you on the
adults
program.
that their parents were in the
This is the first
service.
time.
Yes, it is.
Well, you
So
have to come back
we're hoping to
another
get all that back at 100%.
time. Welcome back.
When? Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Unfortunately, we can't put down a real strong date because it just depends on the COVID activity.
Yeah.
And we all want to do the safe thing. We don't want to open up too quickly and we don't want to have any kind of complications, so.
Yeah. Alan, could you answer this question? If somebody wants to make a donation to the American Legion, what's their address?
100 Para Drive.
I've drawn a blank on the number.
100 Para Drive.
100 Para Drive,
100 Para Drive,
here in St. Albans.
St. Albans, Vermont, 05478. So if any of the viewers want to take and make a donation to the American Legion, because they put on a lot of, good things for the people in Franklin County, please don't hesitate. I'm going to make my check out and I'm going to bring it up tomorrow to the American Legion. Also, I got to renew my dues. I got a notice, which is good.
Just a little bit history of the 5 gentlemen that got the American Legion started in Paris, France in 1919. Theodore Roosevelt Jr. was one of the founding fathers of that. And they were concerned about the war ending and the veterans coming back and not having anything. They started with the rehab program for vets that returned. And of course, we have the GI Bill,
Yep.
and it's now called the 9/11 Bill. But there is an education bill for the veterans. As the service officer for the post, I've been filling out claims for our veterans who have medical problems, issues that are connected, like exposure to Agent Orange or to the smoke pits over in Afghanistan and that. And then we have a new one that it's called the Blue Ocean bill that opened up, or Blue Water bill, I'm sorry. And that's for all the veterans who served aboard ships in the waters of Vietnam. Originally, they were not eligible for Agent Orange exposure. And, but last year is when the bill came through and got pushed through, and the president signed it and that, and we now are taking claims for that. So anybody that served aboard ship and has any of the symptoms of disease caused by Agent Orange, they are more than welcome to apply. If they applied and got denied, back when they were not covering that, they have to reapply. It's not an automatic reapply. So if they're interested in that, they can see me, and I'll be glad to sit down with them and fill the papers out and get them into the national organization to help them out with that.
So, the American Legion Post number 1, the question is, do you cover Franklin County, or do you just cover, around St. Albans?
No, we actually do Franklin County, but we also have members that don't live in Franklin County. We've got probably 100, couple hundred who live in Florida, Arizona, California. So it's just that they wanted to belong to Post 1. And of course, we used to have the old radar station, and a lot of them had joined us. And so we had them at that time.
Yeah, I used to go up there to their nightclub and have a couple of cold ones and try to make it down off the hill.
Oh, yeah, up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and the thing too about our membership, a lot of people said, well, you didn't accept me before. Well, we were not responsible for those dates that were set. Our Congress and Senate are the ones that set those dates. They're the ones that restricted us as to who we could accept into our organization. And I was outgoing NEC at the time on the national organization, and I was really excited because that's when we finally got the bill passed to open the dates, so you don't have those dates anymore. And so you can, if you've got a DD 214, you bring them on in and we'll sign you up, and you can be a member and join our activities. Melanie and them have all been trying to get things going, but like you said, the virus really has ripped us to shreds, to be honest with you. But we are still plugging along. We are now, our doors are open. When you come in, you need to sign in. You have to put your name and a phone number and the time you arrived, and then as you're going out the door, need to remember to sign out, so we know you're gone.
Yeah. Well, that's because of COVID-19 and
former state
and
legislator,
thanks to China for
with the state
experimenting.
of
That's what
Vermont,
caused
and she
this
has
virus,
joined the
which
team
I think
here,
is
and
a
we also
chemical
have
warfare, in my opinion. But, a lot of people have died, even some of our veterans.
Absolutely.
So we need to take care of our veterans. And I think the congressman that we've got here in Vermont and Bernie and Leahy are doing everything possible to make sure the funding is to help, our veterans that have been in the wars. Melanie,
Yes.
I don't want you to fall asleep over there, so I'm going to ask you a question. Now, when did you become American Legion member? After you got out of the armed forces?
Actually, it took me a while. I didn't join right away because I wasn't really sure how they'd accept the female. Everybody I'd ever talked to kept saying, well, the guys at the Legion, which kind of, was bittersweet at that time. And then my husband was the commander at that time, and he brought me in, and he said, you're welcome to join. And so I joined up, got carded the very first night. But from there, it kind of like, well, you were accepted that you could come in, but you weren't quite part of the team. It's taken a long time before they finally realized we fought the same wars that the guys did.
That's right.
And we got the same honorable discharge and had the same DD 214 as the guys did. And now it's amazing, a lot of the guys just see you as one of the guys and you fit in very well. And that's when I started running the chairs, which is becoming more in an official capacity. And that's where I ended up being the commander. So if I can do it, anybody who wants to join and wants to be an officer and wants to run the chairs and, get further up, Marty's been even higher than I have by far. It's a great way to get your foot in the door, start helping out with a lot of this legislation, finding out what benefits there are for you, the insurance benefits and all that kind of stuff, what is available. You can find out what is offered by your VA clinics and hospitals through the Legion. They can tell you all those kind of things. And a lot of the veterans don't realize that they have a lot of benefits that they're not using.
That's right.
And unless you join these organizations, you don't know about them. I mean, it's kind of a closed thing. And also your kids. I mean, you can bring in newborns, as soon as they're out of the womb, can become auxiliary or SAL members, and it's a good thing that they can build up and learn some strengths, and like they were talking of the oratorical contest and different things like that. It's a great way for scholarships for high school kids and, to get a little extra money to pay their way. The camps are great for these kids. They learn different skills, activities, cadet camp, and I can't remember what the camp for the wilderness. Conservation camp, yes, that's what it is. It's great for these kids to get those skills, and we cover the cost. All they have to do is join, be members, and the kids are eligible.
That's good a benefit.
It is,
Yeah.
camps these days are not cheap.
No.
And for the kids to get out, it's a good thing, and it's a good thing to learn some different skills.
Yeah. So, John, how long were you commander?
Way back in 84, 85.
84, 85. So, was that when it was on Kingman Street?
That was when it was on Kingman Street, yep.
They used to have a pool room downstairs, and a couple of my union buddies, we used to go down there and play pool downstairs.
We brought that pool table up. We probably got a newer one now. But, we've got the pool table still. Yeah, it's pretty popular.
Yeah. So, now, I know the American Legion was putting on dinners for senior citizens,
Yes.
which was well received. You had people from Milton and St. Albans coming to your dinners, and that was volunteers of the Legion?
Yep.
That were putting on those meals?
Yes.
Yeah. And also we do for the blood drive too, we, open
Red
up our
Cross.
hall so that they can have the blood draws there and, help with bringing in the juice and the, the different little snack things and stuff. So, we do a lot. We do a lot for the community. We've helped up at Pearly Collins. We put in a donation, a big donation for them for building that new building that they had up there. And we've also donated a large amount of money to MVU recently for them to have names put on for anybody the kids that have graduated from there that have served and have
Thank you,
lost
Joe.
their lives or
It's
whatever.
an honor to be
So,
here
I mean,
tonight
we
to
do
present the
a
founders
lot for the community that
This award is
people
given
don't
to a
realize
person
that it's the American
many
Legion that
years has
has a
helped
lot
the
of
organization thrive,
pull in that department,
made a
helping
difference
out
in the
people.
growth
I
of
think
access.
you've got to be out in front of the people all the time, knowing that, hey, we're alive, we're still going, and these are the activities we're going to start with in January. The dinners or or
The
renting
spaghetti
hall.
dinner for the baseball teams.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
You do all
stuff
those
like
things.
that gets the community involved.
Yep. And the more members we have, the more we can do,
Yep.
the more help that's there. And it's not even just being officers. I mean, if you like cooking, we can use that. If you like serving, we can do that. There's a lot of availability. Baseball coach, you can come up with that, or assistants helping out in that department. There's a lot of places for a lot of people, and all you have to do is just step forward.
Now, is American Legion property taxable or non-taxable?
Non-taxable.
That's good, because you're a nonprofit.
We're nonprofit,
Yeah,
so,
yeah, you're a 501c3.
yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
yes, we are.
Well, John, what else do you want to talk about that I might have not covered?
Well, one thing that was not mentioned, we helped out provide transportation up at the hospital for people traveling back and forth, so they don't have to walk, they can commute. It's I don't know what they call that little car, it's a little car that
Yeah.
was provided. And they also have people up there to transport people back and forth, so it's a little easier to get around.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
veterans, most of the time are drivers.
Yes.
That seems to go over pretty well, so we're
Yeah.
glad to help out on that.
And I
Yeah.
can't believe my husband didn't mention that, again, prior to COVID, we had a pool team that was run out of there, out of the Legion, and for a pool tournament, that they went around to different places and played.
Yeah. It's a very comfortable building to be in, you know, it's
Yeah.
not like it's
This is Linda Kirker, former
overcrowded with a
state
lot of stuff.
legislator.
No,
And one of the
with the
things,
state of
I
Vermont,
really have a lot of
and she has
respect for you
joined the
people.
team here, and we all
If you have a table there for the veteran that never made it,
Yeah,
never made it home.
yeah. Yep, the empty table.
our POW MIA table.
Yeah.
We have that right in the lounge area.
Yeah.
And we always bring it into the main banquet room when we have our lunch, our dinners and that, and our programs, so that they're not forgotten.
That's
They
right.
never are. And it's something we're proud of.
Yeah.
One thing we're very lucky to have is we have a funeral detail of volunteers, veterans, who, when the funeral home notifies us, we get together and we go to the funeral and we present honors to the family in memory of their loved one. And Melanie is part of the firing squad that does the honors with the gun salute. And she blows the taps for that.
Yeah, she did it, Franklin County Honor Guard was at my brother's funeral on March 15th.
Yeah,
And
Franklin County Honor
outstanding.
Detail.
Yeah,
Yeah, and any veteran can join that also.
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't have, they don't have to be a member of the American Legion for that.
No.
The same way with filing a claim with the VA.
Joe.
You don't have
It's
to
an honor
belong
be
to
here
our
tonight to present
organization
the Founders Award.
to get that service. We'd be glad to help out anywhere we can. And so, just so that people are aware, you don't have to belong. It's nice if you do, but you don't have to.
Yeah. Now, Alan, how long you been a member of the American Legion?
Ooh,
That far ago?
for 40 years at least.
40 years? Yeah.
I would like to say that the Legion is trying to be a family-type organization. Our commander, Melody, mentioned the auxiliary briefly, that was traditionally for the spouses or the wives of members to join. That has changed. It is now a spouse organization. John and I became auxiliary members about a year ago.
They were the
So-
first two, actually, the first two male at the Legion that joined the auxiliary.
So, you know, it's not just traditionally the husband joining the
Yeah.
Legion and the wife staying at home and occasionally providing a crock
That's what I
pot of
mean, that
food
you guys are
for
more
something.
family-oriented
It's-
now.
We're
Right?
certainly
Which is good.
trying to head
Oh,
that way.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The auxiliary was and is fairly active. The COVID-19 shut just about everything down.
Yeah.
But we're looking forward to the new year and opening up slowly and cautiously, of course, but to see what we can get going again.
That's good. Now, mostly the gentlemen that are taking the shuttle bus up at the hospital are mostly all veterans that are doing that work,
Yes.
volunteering.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
They are all the
Yeah.
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 Yeah. No, the different veterans organizations all contributed
Right.
to that. It wasn't just the American Legion. It's the VFW, the Vietnam vets.
The VBA.
Linda Kirker,
Yeah.
former state
Yeah.
legislator.
Didn't the Rotary help you out with some money?
Rotary
Yep,
helped
the
it.
Rotary did
yes.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good service because, you know, you park your car and sometimes you can't park right in front of the door.
Yeah.
And this way you get transportation from the parking lot to the door of the hospital or the clinics or whichever you're going to.
All right.
So it makes it very nice to have that.
Actually, Admiral Ham was the one who first
Started
stepped
that.
into that, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Veterans Valet Service has really blossomed since then. And I mean, a lot of the members, and it always seems to be the same members, the American Legion, the VFW, the VVA, the DAV. They're all the ones that, you know, bits and pieces of each one joins in, and it's a helping hands group that, you know, just blossoms from there. We all try to keep in touch with each other and to benefit whatever we can and wherever we can. It's, you know, no club is any better or less than the other clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, Alan is the commander of the VFW, and he and I have been friends for 1,000 years. And I mean, it's easy for us to mesh the two together
Yeah.
when it's comparable for us to do so. I mean, he's helped out, like, we did a flag ceremony, retiring the flags in a proper, respectable way last year, and he actually brought up a lot of the flags that the Boy Scouts and the high school and groups put on the graves and had taken off, and they had to be retired, and he helped out with that up at the American Legion. You know, the Patriot group came down and helped out with the flag service too. So we get a lot of help from a lot of areas, and we are very willing to help out a lot of areas, which,
I hope those American flags are made in the USA, Alan,
Yes.
They
are.
Yeah, they are.
because that's one thing, I will not buy a flag unless I see it. Because
Good for you.
what's the matter, you don't like the ones from Korea?
I don't like them other than the United States, you know, because when you put them on cemetery stones of our veterans,
Yeah,
just
Right.
be American made,
Right.
Yeah.
Makes,
not just
Right.
crap from other
no,
countries.
I
Right.
agree with you.
right.
Yeah, you don't want to get me going on that.
No, when I get something in mind, I just, you know, that's the way I
Oh,
feel.
that's okay.
Now,
that's all
John,
right.
say for instance, I was a veteran and I needed to get to White River and I didn't have a vehicle, is there any sponsorship or any van that?
There is a vehicle that is used. I'm sure we could come up with a number to get a hold of the proper individual to have them come.
Because a lot of our veterans are disabled, so they can't drive.
You can actually call the Burlington Clinic, 657-7000 is their number, and they can connect you where we have a bus, that there's a driver in the area, will go right to your house and pick you up on the date of your appointment. You just have to be scheduled, and they can get you all scheduled, and they can drive you down to either the Burlington Clinic or the White River
Thank you,
Clinic,
Joe.
hospital
It's an
down
honor
there.
to be here tonight.
And they bring you back right to your door. It's handicap accessible, so wheelchairs are no problem.
Yeah, I've been to White River because I've taken my father down because he was a veteran 2 or 3 times. That's quite a place.
Very big.
Yeah.
And they have a beautiful new female wing down there that it's not been, what, 5 years?
5 years.
Yeah, about 5 years. It's a gorgeous wing.
Yeah.
And, I mean, everybody, all the females from any branch of service, you don't have to be just one branch or another, can use it.
So I'll start with you, Marty, and we'll go around the table. Is there anything I might have missed that you want to make sure we cover?
Well, I think we pretty much covered everything. We got scholarships that the young people can start applying for right now, because we have deadlines, I believe, of March 1st and April 1st on some of them. So please get in touch with the American Legion. We'd be glad to get a scholarship application to you from the Post as well as the Department of Vermont. Because you know, college is expensive these days, and it's just getting worse.
It is.
And so I know that a lot of families will need help this year, especially because of the virus and
Yeah.
people losing their jobs and that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard for the young people.
It is. Could you give your email address for the Legion and the telephone number, please?
Yep, Well, the email address is vtalpost1@comcast.net. So that's VTAL, which is American Legion, post1@comcast.net. And our phone number is 802-524-5561. And our website is greenmountainpost1.org.
And I'll go to Alan. Is there anything I might have missed that you still want to cover?
I'd just like to put in a punch for membership. If you are out there and you are a veteran, male or female, and there are a lot of female veterans out there, because almost 20% of the U.S. military is now female. Please consider us and give us a try. Give us 1 year.
Yeah,
And
just
see
try
what
for
we're
1 year. That way you'll decide whether you're happy. I think you will be once you join. Yeah. So we'll go to John, then I'll end up with Melanie, because she's the commander.
Okay, that's all right. Let her have the heavy stuff. Okay, basically is what we're looking for is membership. We, unfortunately, we're losing more members than we're gaining. And
By passing away.
passing away. And we were over 1,000 just a few years ago for membership. And now we're at a little over 600 right now. And I think our goal is around 800 and something right now for a goal this year. And that's quite a bit less than what it has been in the past. And so we really are looking for memberships. And the more we can get, the better it is. And anybody, like Alan said, anybody that needs some help or looking for a good organization, give us a shot.
And Melanie, you're last on this.
Last on the list, that's okay. The one thing I did want to bring up is that veterans might not know, there are facilities available that we can help you get hooked up with for eyeglasses, for hearing aids, for physical therapy programs that if you can't get seen right away in any medical facility, that can help you get in touch with groups that can get you on the outside, programs for that, to go to local area like PT and stuff like that. American Legion can help you with all this. There's not too much that we can't do. All we need to do is have you walk in the building.
Yep.
And it's $45 per,
40.
$40 per year for, to join the
Membership.
membership. And if you walk in, we can help you with whatever area you want to get involved with. But please, walk through the door.
Yeah, take that one giant step and go into the
Yep.
American Legion, because there's a lot of nice people there. Every time I go up there, I meet a lot of new people, so.
Yeah.
So, thank you, members of the American Legion, for coming in.
Thank you for
Thank you for
having
having
us.
us.
Thank you. Thanks.
In the future, when I'm back from the South, I'd love to have you back on again, because, the American Legion is part of Franklin County, and, we need to make sure we take care of our veterans.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Of course, we lose a lot of members to being snowbirds too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
David.
yeah. But I want to thank the viewers of Public Access, and if you've got the email address and the web address and the telephone number, please give them a call if you need any help, because that's what they're there for. And with that, thank you all, members of the American Legion, and my hand's off to you because of the fact you served our country. Thank you
you.
very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Have a
Appreciate
nice
it.
day.
You too.